Can I love my enemies? To answer this question, let's clearly understand what an enemy is, how enemies were handled traditionally, and how the world views fair treatment of an enemy. So what's an enemy? The Greek word for enemy is ekthros or echo, which means to hate or hateful. It also means an adversary, especially Satan, enemy or a foe. Luke 11:23 puts it this way: he who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters. So how are enemies handled historically in the Bible? 1 Samuel 15 verse 2 says, "Thus says the Lord of hosts, I will punish Amalek for all he did to Israel, how he ambushed him on the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and attack Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, infant and nursing child, ox and sheep, camel and donkey." How does the world view enemies? There's a real popular term used in the community, especially in gangs. Ops, which is short for opposition. Opposition are to be shot on sight, no matter the circumstances. No moral code, no thought. Shoot first, ask questions later. In the army, there were at least rules of engagement, but in the jungle, there are no rules. Enemies are worthy of one thing: death. So as a Christian, is it possible for me to love my enemy? Can I love an op? The short answer is yes, but Jesus would answer this way. In Matthew chapter 5 and verse 43, he says, "You have heard it was said that you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies. Bless those who curse you. Do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust." When we love our enemies, we emulate God. Because although God's enemies blaspheme his name every day, he still allows the sun to shine on them. Furthermore, God sent his son to die for his enemies. In Romans 5 and 8, it says, "But God demonstrates his love towards us, that in that when we were sinners, Christ died for us." If you're a Christian and you view an enemy in the same light as the Old Testament or like the world, I venture to say you're not a Christian at all.